Hey, hi students. I hope you're doing great. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you. It's around 3:40 p.m. today. So yeah, as per my time, good afternoon to all of you. So guys, let's get back to the business. So today our topic is going to be about punctuation, and as you can see, I'm sitting in a very different location in my home. I thought change a little bit of my surroundings, a little bit of my atmosphere. I was kind of not feeling like to go and sit right in front of my computer table because yeah, change is better. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable, but I believe you keep on changing your surroundings. But yeah, I'm not using any external microphone today. I'm just using my MacBook's microphone, the original microphone. So that's why, sorry in advance if you keep on listening the motorcycle, rum sounds, or any other environmental noise. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, today's topic was kind of most anticipated by my students back at school. They had a lot of problems when it comes to plugging in the right punctuation marks, the punctuation symbols you can call them as well, in passages, or there were a couple of exercises that I've given to them. So this class and this particular video is going to be a little bit comprehensive. We're going to be discussing most of them in details. So let's get started. So now, first of all, our topic is about the full stops, right? Or you can call them periods as well. So the first example, as you can see on your screen, is about the cat sat on the mat. Very simple. At the end of a assertion, you definitely put a full stop, all right? Or you can call it a declarative sentence, let's say a statement as well. So, the purpose is that they indicate the end of a sentence, helping to separate one sentence from the next and provide clarity in writing. So you see, it's a very basic thing. One more topic is actually missing from this particular punctuation marks, and that's called the ellipses. Now, speaking about the ellipses, we're definitely going to talk about that, but please do not confuse the ellipses. So yeah, like I was saying, that please do not confuse the ellipses with the periods. Of course, ellipses look very much like periods or full stops, you can say. There are like three trailing dots following one another. So we're going to get to that later. So that's all about the full stops or the periods. You put it in the end of the declarative sentence or a statement, right? Now, let's come to the commas. Now, commas is going to be a little bit more interesting, my personal favorite, because in commas, we're going to be studying not only the commas, the purpose of the commas, but we're going to also talk about a very common error, which actually has been a part of discussion in my classes back at school, and that's called comma splice. My favorite topic to actually talk about. Why? Because it's a really interesting thing. You learn about commas and semicolon as well. So let's get started. Commas. So the first example says that I went to the store, comma, and I bought some milk. I went to the store and I bought some milk. Right. Now here, in this situation, you can see that if I do not put the conjunction end, A-N-D, end, so what would be the problem? The problem could be that the comma alone itself cannot stand alone by bifurcating or separating two independent clauses. In this situation, I want you to please tell me this in the comment box, is that a situation where there are two independent clauses, one independent, one dependent, or both of dependent, or what's the situation going on over here? And this can help you to actually recall the topic that we studied before when we were studying the independent and dependent clauses. So, tell me what the situation is. You can comment down. So, I went to the store, I bought some milk. So, do they really need any kind of support, or are they very clear when I'm saying to somebody? So that's something that you need to take in account. Now let's talk about the common error right there. So let's say if the sentence was something like this, that I went to the store, comma, I bought some milk. Now it seems that it's very fine because I'm actually separating it with a comma. But in English grammar, it's a very prominent rule that you cannot separate the two independent clauses with only a comma. A comma cannot handle the load of two independent clauses. It's not qualified or something like that, but it's definitely a grammar rule. So what do we do? And what do you call this mistake? You actually call it the comma splice. So to help us to mitigate this mistake, what do we do is we either put a semicolon or we put a conjunction with a comma. In this situation, to mitigate this mistake, we are actually using a comma with a conjunction, the end. Okay, so let's talk about the usage. The commas are used to separate items in a list, clauses in a sentence, or to provide clarity and structure in writing. Well, which is very clear. It doesn't require us too much of a more explanation in this regard. Now, let's talk about the purpose over here. So the purpose says that they help to separate different elements within a sentence, making it easier to read and understand. Very simple, no rocket science behind that. Okay, so let's talk about the exclamation marks. Well, definitely the assertions, or maybe the exclamation marks or the exclamative phrases as well, right? This can actually help you to dive into the types of sentences. Now remember this thing, do not confuse sentence structures with the types of sentences. All right, so exclamation marks. What a beautiful day, what a sunny day, what a empty room. All right, just want to be funny, no problem. Okay, so what a beautiful day. I'm showing some excitement, I'm showing emotion. Okay, it could show exciting emotion, it show happy emotion, it could show angry emotion and surprising emotion, so many different things, but which actually shows some kind of surprise or some kind of excitement. So exclamation marks are used to express strong emotions such as surprise, excitement, or urgency. Purpose, what's the purpose? They add emphasis to the statement, conveying the speaker's tone or mood more effectively. Now please make sure this thing that in your exams you use these punctuation marks when it comes to writing the dialogues. And also remember, we have been studying too much about the direct and indirect speech, so remember to use it in the which is speech? Write down in the comment box. Direct speech, of course, not the indirect, not the reporting speech, okay? Because in the direct speech, what's the difference between both of them? That in the direct speech, you are actually putting that particular phrase or that clause said by somebody in the quotation marks as if that person has actually said those exact same words, and you're not doing any alteration or editing within that main clause or within that main sentence, right? Or that dialogue, whatever it is. And if you use it in your dialogue writing, it would be much beneficial. Actually, it passes a kind of impression to us, a teacher, that the student is trying to go extra mile rather than just using full stops or commas or very basic things, right? So the more emotions you show in the dialogue writing, the more score you get, okay? Okay, now the second one is going to be about the question mark, okay, number 4. So, okay, interrogative sentences, right? The sentence type, interrogative sentence. Where are you going? Okay, where are you going? Very simple. So the question marks are used to end the direct questions. They indicate that a sentence is a question, prompting to the reader to provide an answer to consider the inquiry, interrogation, question, many different words. Well, today I was actually taking a Chinese lesson from my Chinese teacher, Miss Chen. So she actually told me that in the Chinese language, in Mandarin, you always put the word ma, M-A, ma, in the end of the question. So I kind of asked her that, okay, does that resembles to the question mark symbol? So she was like, no, it doesn't resemble the question mark symbol, but it's a Chinese culture, it's a Chinese language rule that in the end of the question, you always say ma. For example, ni jiao shema means ma. Okay, so what is your name? Ma. It resembles, it's kind of like a question tag in the end. Okay, that's just an extra piece of information, never mind. Okay, so let's come to colon, okay? Colon and semicolon. Now, do not confuse it with the semicolon. Colon is different, right? So, it says over here that please bring the following items: bread, milk, and eggs. So, it says that the colons are used to introduce list explanations or quotations. Purpose: they signal that the additional information is about to be provided, often clarifying or expanding upon the previous statement, right?